tooth number 23. Here we go. A little too much separator, so let's wipe that sucker off. Okay. Again, wax scoping. And we just had enough so you can spread it. And then once you spread it and it's all over, use a little bit less heat and cover the thin areas wherever the angles are. Cool it down a little and put it back. So, let's get boring again. Now, we're waxing the what? The mesiolabial point angle. Sometimes I'll put my finger behind the tooth and wax right on my finger. It'll give me additional control so that the wax doesn't bend down as I'm waxing. It's a little trick. So we can do the same with the other side. It also keeps the wax from going too far back. Let it cool a little bit. Okay, so incisal edge. Before it heats up, you could use your nail to make it a little straighter if you like. Then we'll wax the what? The mesiolabial line angle, also called the mesial lobe. And then we'll go to the distal lobe. Remember, you start up a little bit closer to the middle, then you come up and out. And it reaches a little bit more distal, and then we make that distal curvature. Right there. After that we'll do the gingival area, which is where the height of contour is. Let's add a little more there, a little more there. Now we're going to do the central lobe and bring it all together. Do the developmental depressions. And let's make this line angle pop a little bit more. Get some of these grooves together. Remember, the distal side is going to be a little rounder. Now we'll go back and we'll do the distal lingual line angle, or the distal lingual marginal ridge. And the more you do this, the faster you'll get. You're gonna get a system down, and then you're gonna do it one after another. So after the mesiolingual line angle, we'll do the lingual fossa right there. Can round out the cingulum a little bit. Almost there. So now we have to close the diastema. And also fix the margins. See the contact? That's a bit low, so let's raise it up. Add a little bit more here, but let's take this off a little bit more. Add a bit to the incisor portion. Okay. That's better. So the contact is right about there, which is where we want it. Let's take it out again. You see how it's pushing? The model's pushing a little bit on the wax. We want to take this down. We don't want to add in there. We want to take it down so that when we put it in the model won't push it out, because that's what happens with this model. It keeps pushing it up if there's too much wax there, and then it will give you a bunch of headaches. Just blend the roughness a little bit so it's not too rough. Let's do the lingual fossa a little bit deeper. Make like a little joining here so that the two marginal ridges come together in like almost like a pit, but it's not really a pit. It's more like a little spillway of some type. Let's add a tiny bit to the incisal portion of the marginal ridge, just to make it flow. And then we can make this a little bit rounder. It will make it look more natural. And then we put it back and let's check our work. Oh, we pushed this sucker down, so we didn't have it pushed all the way. So now that I pushed it all the way down, it looks like it's shorter. So what I'm going to do is add to the incisal edge a little bit. To make it a tiny bit taller. So make sure that that tooth is pushed down all the way before you wax it, otherwise at the end you're gonna have to add wax. Still a little hot. Okay. Round out the distal a little bit. Make it a tiny bit rounder on the facial surface, so that we can differentiate between the lateral and the central. So So here we have our anteriors, our incisors. So the next time we are going to do the canines. Oh, do we see this here? This is too far in. We gotta bring this out. So let's just add to it. You see, when you look at it, I forgot to look at it in this position, like this. Do you see it? It's pretty far in, so we're gonna have to bring that out. It's not too much of a pain. It's easy to add to. Now if this was porcelain, then you'd have to add the porcelain, put it back in the oven, let it bake and hope that there's no bubbles come out. Sometimes when you're baking porcelain after you glaze it, you may get a bubble or two, and then you gotta put it back more, and then it creates like a domino effect. If you're not lucky, you'll have to redo the entire thing. Alright, let's see here. Fix the line angles again to make sure they line up. Alright, we gotta raise the point angle here. See? Much better. But now we have to fix it again. Smooth it. Fix the wear facet. Very gently though. Now we'll have to bring this edge out a little bit here, just so it flows from the lingual fossa. This one may need to thin out a little bit too. You see, sometimes when you take off your eyes from your work and then you look at it again, you will find something wrong. But that is the natural way of things in dental technology. You'll always find something. Let's do the little developmental depressions, and it should be it right there. So now we look at it this way, look at it this way, we look at it, let's say this way, like this, just like that. You see, everything's nicely lined up. A little bit of imperfections, which I like, so if you do a little bit, as long as it doesn't look like a snaggle tooth, it's fine. And now again I saw something else. You see over here there's a little diastema, and the contact area is still on the bottom there, so we do need to fix that. But with this one, we're gonna fix it from the central, because I see that the central contact area here is kind of creeping in towards the mesial. So if we add a little bit to here to make this line go out like this, you see, just like that. It should put the contact area right where we want it. So let's add a little bit to there. Don't want to heat it up too much, because then you're going to regret it. So I push this down before it's completely cooled. Let's add a little bit to this. And right now, let's adjust this a little bit also, because this one has a tiny bit of a belly right here. So if we take that off, we can further improve on the contact area by bringing it up a little bit more incisally. So there we go. Now we can distinctly see that the